Can you speak even? No, you can't because it's being a dick. There you go.
Hello.
Hello.
How is?
I oh I just suddenly realised I'm getting looped audio. Turn that stream off. Perfect.
Just like mute the stream.
Yeah, I just did. I got really confused when you asked if I could talk twice.
Hmm.
I just did.
Alright. Well, it is 10 o'clock here. It is 5 o'clock over on the East Coast. It's time for the Furcast. So, hello everybody who
Yay.
potentially is watching. I don't know. Are people watching? I have no idea. No. There's
People are watching. They're all here.
nobody loves me.
Everyone loves you. It's just we've made it a group chat tonight.
Apparently so. No, but still, special Furcast Friday because of the big thing this week, E3. We're all gamers. We all know and love it.
Free.
And you know, I'm here. Jero's here. Finally joined by Tom from the other side of the planet. And we've got Tobias.
Yay!
It's
I'm
7
here too.
a.m. and I don't like coffee. It's too early for this.
It's just one night a week, buddy.
It's 10 in the evening and it's still too early for me.
Toby, you're always tired anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter.
Yeah. Only because people won't let me sleep for a week.
Well, no, that's way too much. Even big cats will look at you and go, "Excuse me, the fuck."
The benefit of being canine, I get to sleep all day.
That's what cats do.
Yeah, we do it better.
Yeah, whatever.
No, canines don't sleep. We don't know the concept of sleep. We may pretend to sleep, but as soon as something happens, boom!
Yeah, that's a good no. As soon as something happens,
Sleep
that is
with constant reserve of energy.
no. Canines sleep, and they have selective hearing while sleeping. Like if someone's trying to get them up to like I don't know, like move them or move the stairs or give them a bath or something, they will not wake up. As soon as they hear like walks or food, they're suddenly awake.
It's not selective hearing. We hear you say everything.
You say selective hearing. I say you're wrong.
Selective response.
Closer.
Closer.
We just don't
Fucking
care.
everything will wake up a dog. So
Mm. Well, you say everything, but but anyway, on with the stream. So, E3. Basically, how this is going to happen is I've got a list of games I want to talk about. I think Gerald's got a small list of games he wants to talk about. We're just going to go bounce back and forth between the both of us, and Toby and Tom are going to pitch in how they feel about the idea of it. So, I'm going to start us off. This is the first like bunch from me are all Nintendo, specifically about the Switch as well, because that's the list I pulled up first. So first thing coming to the Switch I'm interested in grabbing is the game Fallout Shelter. So that was originally a free mobile game. It did have microtransactions in it, but it wasn't necessary to play the game. It literally was, yo, if you can't bother to wait, here's the speed up option sort of thing. And it was a good little like simulator game. It's literally you build your Fallout shelter. You've got to balance food, energy, water supply, level people up with their like special stats, explore the wasteland, that sort of thing. So I'll be interested to see.
Oh, hi, Jalen.
Is Jalen here?
Jalen's in the chat.
Yay, Jalen is here. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how they transfer that on a mobile game and a touchscreen to the Switch. Like, are they making any improvements? Is this stuff going to be like upgraded, or are they just going to keep it as it is? But either way, I want it. I don't know what you guys think about it though.
It's one of those things. Whenever you convert a freemium mobile game to a full front page console game, you need a content update. You need a massive content update to justify the starting price.
It's like, trust Nintendo to be several years behind. They only just got Skyrim, and now they're getting Fallout Shelter.
Well, to be fair, it's still
Keep watching. Soon Bethesda, next year or two, Bethesda will announce Fallout 4 coming to Switch.
I mean, I can see it happening. Though, did you see the joke? Oh, no, it's not even a joke thing. The Skyrim Very Special Edition for the Alexa.
Why is that not available in this country?
Is it not? I thought it was.
No, it's only in the US as far as I'm aware.
Oh, for God's sake, that sucks.
That makes me want to plug in my Echo Dot right now.
I'm sorry, I just love the fact it's like, you don't have any health potions. How many cheese wheels do I have? You have 426 cheese wheels. Alright, eat all the cheese, eat all the cheese.
All the cheese.
Hun, what did the doctor say about your
Bethesda at this point has
intolerance?
become self-aware, and that scares me.
It's
They've taken the memes and are actually making them.
okay, good. That means they keep being relevant and attracting audiences. I know it's like, oh, the bash on what's consoles is Skyrim going to be on next. Fair enough, but at least they're being funny about it.
I think I've demonstrated at this point, if I have a console with Skyrim's on, I will buy it.
Pretty much, yeah. And if there's an extra edition, you're going to buy that as well. Oh, if you got
Oh, don't tell me. I'm already trying to pre-order new Fallout.
it.
Speaking of which,
I want the power armor.
quick side jump since we're talking about Skyrim. Yes, Bethesda did announce Elder Scrolls 6. They didn't give us any information.
That's on the list.
Well, I figured while we were on the subject, we quickly segue into it because there's really nothing to
Yeah.
talk about regarding it.
Yeah, we may as well. They did announce Elder Scrolls 6.
All we
And-
know so far, next gen.
Probably next gen, definitely, or PC, just stronger computer. Um, but yeah, it doesn't
All we
look
know
like
is
elsewhere,
is
sadly.
a thing.
It'll likely be another 2 years or so before we actually see it.
I think they also, by the looks of things, might be Valenwood. I don't know. Nothing very.
I'd be okay with
Not-
Valenwood.
Valenwood is unlikely. General consensus seems to be High Rock.
It'd be
Why?
interesting to see
No.
which. But I'm just sad it's not elsewhere. But then again, that's probably not going to happen for a very, very long time. Which makes me sad.
I'm not entirely interested in Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls or Oblivion or any other game names they have for that entire series. Point is, I'm not the most interested in it, but I think it is hilarious how they announced Fallout 76 before E3 even starts. Everyone's freaking out and they're just like, "You just fucking made Fallout 4 and we've been waiting forever for Elder Scrolls 6," and then boom, here, have your Elder Scrolls 6 announcement. Will you shut up, please?
Oh, that's exactly why they did it.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, Jero, what first game that you're looking forward to?
Let me think here. Fuck.
He doesn't have a list.
Fallout 76. I'm gonna be completely honest. When it comes to E3, I was not able to pay attention to it. I work a full-time job,
I just
and
didn't.
it takes so much time out. Okay, Anthem. That's the one that's been catching my eye. Fallout 76. I know it's gonna be decent because it's Bethesda. They make at least serviceable games. But we're getting into EA territory with Anthem. I mean, granted, it's being directed by Casey Hudson, who directed the first 3 Mass Effect games. So I feel like it does have potential. It is this Mass Effect, Destiny crossover. I want to know more about it. We saw some clearly pre-rendered gameplay at E3 today. No, not E3 today, but this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really just need to wait and see what happens with that.
Talking about Fallout 76, by the sounds of what they're saying, I like the idea of it. So the first off said it's about 4 times bigger than Fallout 4 was, which is a massive space. and they said yes, it is multiplayer, but you can still do it solo. And even if you're going multiplayer, apparently there's still going to be very limited numbers of people on dedicated servers, because that's how they're going to run it. Which makes sense, and the description of it is it's the apocalypse. You're not meant to bump into everybody every time you turn a corner. So you could potentially be on a server with like 8 other people, but never ever see them.
Yeah, it's like
The-
you can't actually play solo. It's always online, so you will be with other people, but you don't have to join anyone.
Yeah, but it means you can just play the game yourself, and who knows? They might be assholes. They might be
There
nice
will
people.
be assholes.
Oh yeah,
It's an
well,
online game. There
yeah,
will be assholes.
assholes.
Something tells me it's going to be the next GTA 5.
I
Mm,
think that's exactly what Bethesda's trying to do.
It's already
is-
started. GTA 5
is-
got the orbital cannon. Fallout 76 gives everyone nukes.
yeah, the nukes are harder to get when it's like you've got to complete quests to get codes, and even then you might not get the right codes. Like you could be a
You
full
got to
team.
get you got to get the whole code. There's pieces of it, and then I'm guessing you'll only get to fire it once.
You only get to fire it once, definitely. But here's the thing as well. Even if you do I'm hoping this is how they do it. They probably will do is like, oh, here's like the quest from the overseer to get a launch code. You could get all 5 if it's like 5 pieces of the code. You could have all 5 pieces, but they might be for separate launch sites. So it's like,
Yes, that is possible. I'm guessing it probably won't be a quest. It'll be an unmarked thing.
no, there probably might
You
be a
probably
quest.
have to explore the area.
You probably have to
They showed,
explore
they
the
showed the
silo.
gameplay. So they showed gameplay, and they were picking bits of code off of feral goons.
Right.
So my guess is the area around it has the code scattered.
Has the code scattered around the single area. So if it's a single area, I would say the code would have to be on like a cooldown. So it's not like it's like
Potentially.
you go away for 30 minutes and then it's respawned. It'd probably be like a 24-hour cooldown or something like that, which also grants the chance of, oh, if one group of people has managed to get 4 pieces, hey, the next group would come in and nick 5 in a row, depending.
It'll be interesting to see how they do it, although it is ripe for abuse.
It is right for abuse, but see, this is where you've got to like be smart. Like if you're working as a group, they mentioned like the little camps, the little filled out build your base things. Well, what's stopping if you've got like say like me and you wanted to like play together, Toby? What's stopping like me setting up one camp one place, you setting yours up somewhere else? So even if they hit one camp, they're not going to hit the second.
Well, it doesn't even matter because you can build up a camp and then store it away and move it.
Yeah, but my point is, if we don't have the opportunity to do that, like we'll have a second backup camp. That's my whole point. It's just
I'm
gonna.
chat. Yes, Dogaro, I will absolutely be getting that game. I have looked at pre-ordering it because I want the power armor. It is sold out everywhere.
Well, I'm not bloody surprised at the case. Also, Lilith Mao.
But yeah, with me with Fallout 76, for me it's like it's almost funny how blatant it is that it's trying to grab a slice of the GTA 5 audience.
Okay, that doesn't bother me. I'll be totally honest. I think GTA 5 has outrun its life.
GT,
It
yeah, I
has,
was about to say,
but-
it's overstayed its welcome.
The thing is, Fallout is a very different game to GTA.
True.
It's like, from what I'm aware, we already know there's no vehicles.
Oh,
It's like my point is that it runs in the exact same style, that softcore player v player that draws in all the worst kind of gamers.
guys, can I just pause this a second? I need to do this. Boy, Jalen Fulf with the £3.77 donation. Thank you very
Nice.
much. That's probably going to be $5, but I work in pounds, so.
We work in real money.
But yeah,
But yeah, it's like Fallout 76. It looks interesting, but my run with the people I meet in online games, probably not going to get it.
yeah,
I usually avoid online games, but
Because I've had
Fallout, I have to.
my recent efforts to try and play GTA 5 have all gone absolutely horribly because everyone on that game is just an absolute prick.
mm,
Oh god, yeah.
And you can bet Fallout 76, if it's the same kind of game, will have the same kind of people playing it.
Well,
I
this
think the only thing that's going to save it is the fact that it is supposed to be smaller groups.
yeah, that's the whole point. It's a massive, massive
You
map.
probably won't run into people a lot in a time.
That's the whole point. They mentioned quite clearly
Think about
that.
how big the GTA world is,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, but
You-
on GTA,
I-
you've got a map showing where people are.
Yeah, you've got a map showing where people are,
you'll probably
and
have
most
something
people.
kind of similar in Fallout 76. I would not
No,
be surprised.
you wouldn't.
No.
The idea is you're not supposed to. Like
You
they
might be
specifically
able-
stated that it's a massive map, but it's the apocalypse. You're not meant to run into everybody every 2 seconds. Plus GTA, most people are literally stuck in the city part, which is only 1/3 of the map size.
You'll probably be able to see where your team is,
Yeah,
but that'll be it.
your team makes sense. Everybody else, hell no. Unless you've like spotted them or tracking them or something like that, you won't know.
Still, always online multiplayer is more or less an immediate pass for me, unless the game turns out to be absolutely god amazing.
Yeah.
And even then, I'll only play with close friends.
Like I said, that's usually what I do, but I've got to. It's Fallout. And
Yeah,
It's not an MMO.
yeah,
You
that's
guys
the
are
only
missing.
thing kept us
You
out.
guys are missing a great opportunity here.
Mm?
We could be talking about a game with massive physics breaking potential.
Oh, definitely.
Oh god, yeah.
It's a Bethesda game. Imagine the glitches.
Yeah, I'm doing a rerun of Fallout 4, and I'm getting issues all over the place that are just kicking my ass.
Oh, I constantly on Fallout 4, and I've modded it to death.
You mod everything to
I've-
death, so I'm not even surprised.
Well, yeah.
I've died so many times from enemies that don't seem to have hitboxes, like just pumping bullet after bullet into them and nothing seems to happen, particularly when they're in point blank range and wailing me to death. And B, landmines that are invisible until they set off, and even when they set off, I still can't see them to disarm them.
Yeah, I've had
Still better
that.
than my usual cause of death. Clipping through the world.
Hmm.
Which is really annoying when I'm trying to play a stealth sniper run, and because it's still early game, the moment someone sees me or a landmine goes off, that's pretty much an instant death.
Oh yeah, pretty
So
much.
I actually kind of can't play.
Which is oh no, Zippy is raiding with the 7. Oh boy, spamming the coffees, spamming the coffee gives. Zippy, thank you so much for that raid. Really appreciate. Welcome to the Furcast, everybody. I am here with Jero, Australian Chaos, and Toby, and we're picking apart E3.
Because gamer nerds!
Oh god. Oh my god, the stickers are real.
What did we do?
That is brilliant, love it. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 again.
Hey, and there's a little Cephs. That's little Cephs. Hello there. Oh. Guys, can we get some more hype in chat for Digaro has just donated £25.
Nice.
Digaro, my man, oh boy, thank you very much. Damn. Definitely, Jesus.
Where do these people get money?
I don't know.
Jobs.
I have one of them. I don't have money.
You keep buying lightsabers.
I haven't bought a lightsaber in over a year. I can't afford one.
Yet.
Again.
Anyway, moving on. Next game for the Switch I want to grab, even though I have already grabbed it for the PS4, I want to grab Crash Bandicoot for it again, the remastered one, because that's coming out for the Switch as well.
Yes. Because I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, so I haven't been able to play that.
Mm.
Dude, the hell with the Switch, that comes out on PC like this month.
It comes out on the Switch at like the same time.
Toby, I might do a you that you do with the Skyrims. I might get it everywhere. It's Crash Bandicoot. It's like I can't say no to it.
No, you know what I'm gonna do that for if I ever start getting consoles again?
Hmm.
The freaking Spyro Reignited.
Oh,
I will look forward to that because I never had a PlayStation as a kid. I've never played Crash Bandicoot or Spyro.
Wait, we're gonna go into that later on. Shut up. We're not segueing into a second one. We'll talk about Spyro later. But no, Crash Bandicoot. Played on the PS4. Fun as hell. Would love to have it on handheld because okay, let me be honest here. If I'm like traveling for like half an hour and on a train or something like that, that's a game I could easily pick up, do a couple of levels, and then put down again.
No, Keith, you know why we need it.
Why?
Queues at cons.
Yes, yes, yes. It's just a line of people playing.
Sitting in line at a con. Screw it. Play Spyro.
If
Yeah.
you're going to be doing that, there is one thing I recommend you invest in then, Kiv, for the Switch.
Go on.
Some kind of battery pack.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How? Because the
No, no,
battery is
the-
actually, the battery on the Switch actually does last a decent while. It's longer than I thought it would be, but it's not that great.
The thing is, there's only a certain number of queues I need it for. Opening and closing ceremonies. The dance comp. What else was I really queuing for? I don't think there was any. Oh no, sorry. I think it was Dealer's Den this year. Like, okay, Tom,
Reg.
yeah, Reg as well. But yeah, Tom, you
guys talking about these lines for the fucking dealer's den and registration, that kind of stuff. You have not seen the line for a JonTron panel.
I don't
I don't
care.
want to.
Lilith just boot me
But
now.
then again, I don't want to see the JonTron panel, so fuck it.
Yeah. But yeah, Tom, you remember how like the hotel was? I was like sort of like split up into two, right?
Mhm.
Right. You know where the dealer's den was? It was that like big massive room next to Conops.
Yep.
The line went from the entrance door, past Conops, past the back door entrance, into a zigzag queue next to the massive Monarch Street in the unused area of the hotel.
Which is why I was there like an hour early.
And that was the dealer's den.
I saw the first few of your vlogs. I still haven't gotten around to watching the last ones. Yeah, no, those queues were bad.
That sounds like the line to get in to see Temmie Chang the last year I went to MagFest. It was ridiculous. For those of you who don't know, Temmie Chang is the person that came up with the character Temmie for Undertale. She did a lot of the art for it. And so everyone was fucking obsessed with it. And it literally curved around the entire merch area and actually went into the Indie Games Expo. And if you've ever been to MagFest, it's like 2 football fields worth of space that was taken up by this line. And I just remember all of the vendors and that kind of stuff in there going like, yeah, this is ridiculous. We cannot sell anything. And I'm like, yeah, this is probably going to be brought up in the next meeting. I get what you mean. Well, I'm pissed off too. That's all I can really say.
Shit happens though. This is why feedback forms exist.
Anyway, but back on topic, I guess.
Back on topic. You're next to pick, Jero.
I actually have to recollect my memory. Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh, that game
Okay,
looks beautiful.
I haven't looked into that yet, so it's not on my list. But I've heard good things. Like a lot of people
Well,
are hype about it.
It's so beautiful.
It's coming from CG. Excuse me. It's coming from CD Projekt Red,
Mhm.
who made the Witcher series. And from what I've seen of the different trailers that they've been putting out, it's just like the look of it, the amount of detail. I know it's pre-rendered, but just the the amount of detail into it, and the oh, never mind. It's game engine footage. Of course, it's game engine footage. It's always game engine footage. It's not gonna look like that on release. It never will. But just the design that has, it's like a cross between Detroit, Judge Dredd, a bunch of other things. This
Blade
is
Runner.
essentially. Oh yeah, and Blade Runner. There's also
Ooh,
that.
very nice.
It's an absolutely gorgeous looking game. First person shooter, gonna be very interesting to watch.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I'll need to look
Yeah,
into it.
definitely one worth looking at. Don't know anything about it, so not that hyped about it. And because That's one of the big reasons I don't really keep track of E3 anymore. Is I just don't get hyped for AAA games because so many of them turn out to be just super disappointing.
I've heard people going on about this for about a year now, and I haven't
Well,
paid any attention to it.
This
That's
isn't
where
a
that makes me
AAA game.
interested.
This isn't a AAA game. CD Projekt Red is not a AAA studio.
I don't know, coming off The Witcher, I think they might be at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, they probably got
No.
AAA status from it.
A AAA studio will have a developer and a publisher. CD Projekt Red just handles all their own shit.
Actually, yeah, he's got a fair point. They're producing what could be classed as AAA games, but because they're not a AAA studio, it's not
Yeah,
classed
it's
as
not a AAA budget. Yeah.
Either way, this is going to be very interesting to watch, and they've already announced that they are going to be supporting it the same way they did with Witcher 3.
So what do you mean by supporting it?
No microtransactions or any crap like that. DLC will be big, full-on packs. We're likely to see quite a lot of... They'll be keeping up with it after the game is released.
Which is good to hear always. Huh, but yeah, Cyberpunk.
They also got a few nice jobs in at other companies.
Oh, this sort of thing I like.
They had a few things. There was a message hidden in the end of the trailer, which was basically an announcement when they said it's like, oh, we're going to be supporting it. You can expect what you saw with The Witcher 3. There was also a small part where it looked like code,
Mm-hmm.
and then if you look closely at the code, you can see the message: "We leave greed to the others."
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, at the same time, there are also those allegations against CD Projekt Red for being one of the worst workspaces on the face of the earth.
I mean, possible.
The entire gaming industry is a terrible place to work.
Also, they say leave greed to others. You mean leave greed to EA?
That would
I
be
don't know.
unique.
Ubisoft is kind of up there too, in my opinion.
Nowhere near as bad as EA levels. Let's be honest here.
yeah. Basically, anything that has the EA brand on it these days, I'm just like skip.
Oh yeah, be skeptical as hell.
I'm not that bad of it.
What?
I refuse to boycott them outright because they are still good games there. But EA themselves are shitty.
Yeah, FIFA 18, Madden 2019. Those are games that I want to play.
But
'Cause I know
Not like they haven't been released 20 times before.
I know the recent Star Wars Battlefront got a lot of hate. I've played it, I enjoyed it. I've never once felt like I needed to spend money on it.
yeah,
Battlefield 5!
I believe that leads to a whole bunch of updates EA made that basically backpedaled
Oh, yeah.
the severity of their microtransactions.
They backpedaled the microtransactions, but the core game itself was good.
sorry, I'm just laughing. You two are having a conversation, just in the background, just Jero having one of his moments.
It's fucking
No,
EA!
we're just
I mean, you can't blame me for this shit!
Hey Jero,
What?
Rainforest.
No, we're not getting into this.
Damn it, he didn't kick off.
Do not talk about Rainforest. You just don't. That's one of those things
Now
where
you
if
have
you're
me
in the
curious.
fandom, you don't.
Tom, I'll
You can look it up. You can look it up, but it's
It's
just
all out there.
not appropriate for this stream.
yeah, not stream appropriate, definitely not. Jesus Christ.
It's all out there, and a lot of it is hilarious.
It's hilarious, but also incredibly disappointing because you realize that these are fucking human beings.
Jason,
Debatable.
did I hear the rain word again? Inhales more.
Wait, debatable that they're human beings, or debatable that what?
Debatable that they're human. I tend to think of them as pond scum.
Ooh. Algae.
A lot of the time that's insulting to pond scum.
Anyway, but yeah, Cyberpunk 2077. I'm excited for it, especially because it's basically like a video game version of Shadowrun that's been fully realized and decked out and modernized for the common era of what sci-fi looks like.
Yes. CD Projekt Red, please don't fuck this up.
They won't. If they come from Witcher, they won't.
But they might.
They won't. Anyway, moving on. Next game I wanted to pick out. I really have no idea how you guys feel about it, but thanks to the recent game and borrowed from my other half, Monster Hunter Generations coming out on the Switch as well. It looks really good.
I haven't played Monster Hunter since Try, and it was a great game.
This is the thing. I honestly wasn't keen on pretty much all the previous Monster Hunters, but I tried Monster Hunter World. My other half has lent me it so I can play the full game. I'm generally enjoying it. It's a game that's like, it is something I can just pick up, grind for a little while, and then like put down again. It's not like heavy story intensive. It is mostly just about the fighting the big monster and kicking its ass sort of thing,
It's one of those games where every fight is a boss fight.
which is not so bad if you're in the mood for it,
No,
because
that's cool.
I'm definitely like that sort of thing. I mean, heck, I play like certain like game modes on when I'm playing Isaac, which is just bosses every room. So
You make it sound like Shadow of the Colossus.
it more or
Pretty
less
much.
is. It is literally every fight is a boss fight. Like you've
But
got,
it's very much focused on watch the monster, learn its behavior, and learn how to fight it.
yeah. And if you're smart, you'll trap it and get more material for it, and then literally rip it apart and make it your armor.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, when it comes to like fighting it, watching it, learning it, that's every boss fight. To be totally honest.
Nightmare.
A lot
Nightmare.
of boss
One
fights
second.
will have an obvious weak spot or something.
Nightmare the Wolf.
This not so much.
One second. Nightmare the Wolf. This stream is basically about the games that got mentioned at E3, the ones we're looking forward to, and just generally talking about them a little bit.
Yeah, this is just a general chat stream, and now we are all nerding out over E3.
Exactly, because I thought it'd be a good idea while it's still fresh in our minds. But yeah,
Monster Hunter I've never played. I've got a friend at work who's basically insisting on, like, Monster Hunter World I can't get because I think it's PS4 exclusive.
yes, I believe it is.
But yeah, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, definitely looking at getting
Yeah.
that as my intro.
See, you've got one major problem here, Tom. You have to kill dragons.
Like I say, I played
dragons apparently.
What's that? Sorry.
I played Try on the Wii. I played Try Ultimate on the 3DS. They are good games. However, you need people to play with.
Yes and no.
If you do not have a team, you're not going to get more than halfway through the game.
It depends, like, because you can play World and do it without a
You
team.
can play it solo. However, my experience in Try was, you can play solo, but by the time you hit the G rank, you are not causing enough damage on your own. You need several people.
Oh, hang on. I've just got confirmed from Lilith. Apparently, Monster Hunter World is Xbox One currently well, and PC late this year.
Nice.
Yes, it is coming out later this year for PC. I will be looking at it, but
Thank you very much for
by
the
that
fact
point,
check.
it's over.
Yeah, there's also the point of, like, by the time it gets out, there's all these other amazing games are going to be out. We're not going to have time.
Although, to go with it, there was also the crossover announcement with Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy.
I heard about that very, very briefly.
Monster Hunter, I believe it's Monster Hunter World, will be getting the Final Fantasy Behemoth monster as one of the hunts.
That'll be interesting.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, let's address the elephant in the room.
Okay, is this your one? I'm gonna accept it as your one.
Kind of, but I know we're both going to be talking about it. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, that was on my list. Oh boy, we finally get
that
a
little
release
indie
date.
game.
The indie game.
No one's heard of it.
Yeah. I'm going to be quiet here because I have no knowledge or experience with any Kingdom Hearts game.
Heretic.
I never played them. I just know
Final
it's
Fantasy mixed with Disney is like the two-headed baby.
But done really, really well.
Which is weird because it just sounds like the world's worst
But
fanfic.
but it's not. It's done really well.
It shouldn't work, no.
But it
Somehow
just
it does,
d-
but
just
it shouldn't.
magic in dreams and the four stones of power thing. Oh crap!
no. It's a
right,
seven.
right,
It's the seven pure hearts of the princesses.
Well, I was thinking the four something or other of the elements, and I can't remember what they're called.
I remember Captain Planet. That was 5. Because that was that shitty one with heart.
Anyway,
But yeah.
point being, it is straight up Final Fantasy mixed up with Disney because there are even Final Fantasy characters in there,
Oh
like
yeah.
Sephiroth and
Sephiroth,
Cloud.
Cloud, Tifa, Yuffie, Zack's in there if you play Birth by Sleep. Who?
It's one of those games I will play one day, but again, never a PlayStation,
It is PS exclusive at the minute, which is
and never had the opportunity to play any earlier games.
Well, I mean, Square Enix has basically had an exclusive deal with Sony
yeah.
for a while.
But no, I'm genuinely looking forward to it. My one big disappointment with it though is they had to put a fucking Frozen level in. It's like, out of everything that Disney owns, why that?
Yeah,
Like-
but they're making up for it by having motherfucking Toy Story.
Yeah, they've got Toy Story in there. They've got another Pirates of the Caribbean in there. Jason, go fuck yourself.
Just wait, it's a Disney product. Wait until the part where Thora joins up with Iron Man to go after Kylo Ren.
Wait. Are you serious or are you fucking with it?
I don't know. It's possible.
That's the point. It is entirely possible that could happen.
If that does happen, I might have to kill myself.
Oh, guys, I will back on this sort of slightly. But what if they do put like a Marvel world in there?
I will kill myself.
Why?
I'll be fine with it as long as they have Rocket.
If they don't, there will be riots.
To be fair, he's probably the only character that would actually look right in a Disney world.
Thing is though, how would it work? Because the way Kingdom Hearts works is obviously you travel to these other worlds, and I think in definitely 1 and 2, when you get like one of the people of that world to join your party, but you can only have 3 members in your party, so you have to swap either Donald or Goofy out in order to have this person in. How's that going to work with Avengers? Because there's a lot of Avengers. Unless they pick specific people that are going to work with you.
You just get Hulk and win.
I would say that Doctor Strange will probably be one of them because he could like swap out. They could swap out Donald for that because he could do mage shit.
Well, yeah, Donald's useless anyway. He's meant to be the healer, but he doesn't heal shit.
I can just say it. They go in, they've got all the Final Fantasy characters using their Final Fantasy magic, and Doctor Strange goes, "Fuck you, I can do that shit too."
And more. Also, Fatality, thank you for the 2 biddies. But yeah, it's just like I am so glad they have finally got a release date for it, and I'll be honest as well. I think its release date time is actually good. Like people are like, oh, it's delayed again, it's delayed again. All right, it's good for 2 reasons. One, yes, they've delayed it, but that means they've probably encountered a problem or something, and it needs fixed. So it means they're not rushing to try and get it out. And 2, it's dodging the swarm of games months between September and December, where all the games are going to be bought up. It's coming at the end of January, so you mean after Christmas when people might have got money for Christmas? Pretty much right after payday in January, so people can recover it and then buy it? Not a bad timing. At least that's my opinion.
I expect they've probably moved it back so that it doesn't overshadow other games that are potentially being sold by other companies.
There's that as well, but that's
Or work with them.
That's the whole point. Is that's a clever move. It's not coming out where it's in the mix of everything that's coming out at the same time. Which, again, in my opinion, is a good play.
Either way, that thing is going to sell millions.
Oh yes, it's been a long time
You
waiting.
put that out, you've basically printed money.
Essentially, like without wasting a breath, it's like I said, I got my other half gave me like the PS4 remasters of all the previous games, so I'm playing through them in order to get caught up on all the stories, so I know everything, basically. So yeah, looking forward to that boy when it hits finally. That's the thing, Gerald. How many of the previous games have you played? Because obviously you got the main games like
None of them.
Then why are you bringing it up out of curiosity?
because I know it's a hot topic. It looks like an interesting game. It's one that I've wanted to play for a while, but I've never had the opportunity to.
Fair enough. I would highly advise you brush up on the story though, or you're going to be confused as fuck. Either by playing getting all the games and playing them, or literally reading the story.
I'm in the
I
exact same
did-
boat.
I watched somebody's review of them, and I'm kind of caught up, but I do want to play them for myself. So I'm probably gonna wind up doing that. Just like get the first two. Okay, was the second game on PS3 or was it also on PS2?
I can't remember. I've got them all for PS4.
Okay, because I know the first one was for the PlayStation 2.
Oh, the first
Which
one,
will make it easy for me to pick up that one.
the original two games were just for the PS2, but trust me, there's a whole lot more story outside of the both of them, as I've discovered. Like, you can
Yeah, I know.
play just the base games and
The-
get by, but you won't understand a lot of the context and backstory. Again, it's up to you. I'm not saying you have to. Just if you like a full story experience, there's a lot more.
Okay.
Right. What's next on my little list? Of course, the announcement that was Pokemon Let's Go. Specifically for me, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, because fuck Pikachu. Like,
Hey, look, the part where I'm gonna be bored.
yeah, but the other two people in this room aren't.
There's one thing I can say about this.
Hmm?
Nintendo, will you get off your asses and just make a brand new actual Pokemon game
That's next year.
for Switch?
Again, that's probably next year, but in the meantime, we're getting this, and I love the concept of it. So, first off, oh, it interacts with your Pokemon Go? Amazing. So, everything you've caught
And
there.
that's where it lost me.
How's that lost you?
Because he doesn't want to get off his ass.
I do enough exercise. I cannot be bothered with that shit.
He generally does.
But no, it's
He,
Told ya.
Jero, he works for Asda, aka Walmart, pushing trolleys around all day, every day.
I used to work for Amazon. Don't complain.
bitch. I'm British. I'll complain all day.
Yeah, it's what we do. But yes,
No, it's
No, I thought it's what
that's
liberals
worrying.
but it's like, no, I like the concept of it because it means you've got something to do with all the Pokemon that you've got with your Go. But it's also the fact that you can do multiplayer with it as well. Which, okay, I need to double check it, but apparently the wild Pokemon, you don't battle them anymore. It is just like Pokemon Go where you throw the Pokeball,
The gameplay I've seen shows it as Pokemon Go.
which again
The
I'm
whole
fine
thing
with.
feels like a gimmick now.
We'll see.
They've got the multiplayer, but it's two people on the same screen, so you're going to be tethered to each other.
Which again I'm
But you-
perfectly fine with. I'm used to that in like Diablo
Except-
3.
You run into trainers and do double battles against them. But as far as I can tell, these trainers are scaled for one person.
We'll find out because again, as far as I can tell. Oh yeah, by the way, Toby, Lilith also works for Asda.
I feel your pain.
As far as I
You
can,
too work for Satan.
as far as I can tell, yeah, it's two people. As far as I can tell, you use the same team, or you might be limited to like a
What
certain.
it looked like to me is each person had their own team, and they were engaged in the usual double battle against a bug catcher, which seems really unfair.
Again, it depends how the scaling works. I mean, obviously, if you've got someone that's like level 40 and someone that's just started who's like level freaking 6, then yeah, it's probably going to be scaled to the level 6 person.
I don't know. It's Nintendo, and they've never been good at balancing.
Either way, we'll see how it goes, but if I'm getting it,
But-
I've already stated quite clearly I'm not playing it unless I've got Arting with me.
But they also showed things like they have the little handheld Pokeball, which you will throw it and it will light up. It's like, that's just another gimmick.
It's also the you can put a Pokemon in it and take it actually out with you as well,
yeah,
and it
they did
levels up.
that with the Pokewalker back with Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
And it kind of worked. I enjoyed it.
It did, but what really concerns me is watching the trailer they showed. They would stroke the Pokeball, and Pikachu was in it and go Pika, and then Pika. It's like, Pikachu should not make that noise where you're stroking him.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not getting Pikachu.
Jesus Christ, Nintendo. Think about it.
Think about the children.
Does anyone look at what they're selling and just go, maybe not?
No, because it's Pokemon.
It's
No
like,
one cares.
I think we just keep getting more and more proof with that sort of thing that Nintendo is Japanese.
Yeah.
Nintendo is the epitome of Japanese. They are absolutely mental.
We know this. We've known this for years. I mean, come on. Hey guys, let's pick a new Pokemon. I know. How about a set of keys? Perfect.
Oh, they ran out of ideas like Gen 4. That was it.
Fatality. I didn't want to spam your chat with bits, so here. Oh, cheers, Fatality. That's awesome. Another 92 bits in the cup there. Yeah, we'll get Lilith is hyped for Doom. Indigo is hyped for Ridley.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, is this?
Doom. Did they call it Doom Infinite or Doom Eternal?
Doom Eternal, you're thinking of Halo Infinite.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll let
yeah.
you guys have a go at
I'm
this
excited
one
for both of
because.
those fucking things.
Okay, I'll let you guys have a go on this one because I don't really play the Doom games. I'll be honest. So over to you guys.
You haven't played the new Doom?
No, I haven't.
I have. I've only played the beta.
We
for
need to
the
correct
new
that.
Doom. I've only played the beta for the new Doom. I wasn't exactly excited about it because it did kind of seem like it was trying to copy,
Hey, Wing.
Call of Duty. It seemed like it was trying to copy Call of Duty, and I didn't exactly like that.
It
And
doesn't.
then,
Not even close.
Well, unless they change it significantly during the beta, I'm not inclined to agree with you. Then I played the Overwatch beta that same year, and I was convinced, okay, this is the shooter for me because of the fact that it's so dynamic. I like competitive shooters.
That's where you've gone. That's where you've stuffed up.
You
with
like
Doom.
it.
Doom,
You like it for the single player, don't you?
and that's what Doom is all about.
The other thing I was excited for was the new Quake game. I think it was called Quake Arena.
I remember playing that a couple of
I've heard
times.
of it.
Either way, the new Quake game I'm interested in because it does look like they've gone back to the roots of it. Just by looking at the game engine by itself, it's clearly like more focused on high-speed combat, twitch shooting. That is like the original arena shooter, and I love those. That's what I looked for in Overwatch and kind of saw, and that's what I ultimately found in this new Quake title that they have. It's not going to be in Doom, unfortunately. I hoped it was going to be in there because Doom was kind of born from Quake, or maybe oh wait, no, it's the other way around. Especially because like Doom was basically like Quake 0.5, and that was like that got me really freaking excited. Just that announcement. I'm surprised that I forgot about it.
Yeah,
As
from
for Halo. As
ju-
for Halo Infinite,
just quickly
I'm
like
starting-
saying, I know I said I didn't really play like a lot of the Doom games, but from what I've seen of it, it is what it can be classified as a power fantasy game. It is the idea that one man goes to fucking Mars, gets the biggest, baddest fucking gun he ever gets, walks into a room and just blows up 60 billion demons.
Like the whole point
Oh, does that
behind
not
it
sound
is
amazing?
the whole point behind Doom is you're not trapped in hell with the demons. The demons are trapped in hell with you.
Yes.
And it's absolutely because what the new 2016 Doom does so well in the single player. The multiplayer is a bit of a mess, but the single player is the perfect blend of classic retro 90s shooters and modern shooters. It perfectly blends features from both of them and just makes a fast run and gun game that's just absolutely phenomenal.
What was going through my head was Brutal Doom, the mod for the original Doom. It seemed like they were really trying to take a lot of ideas from that and incorporate them into the game. For instance, the different fatalities, essentially, or the executions.
I think there was a lot of inspiration from Brutal Doom because Brutal Doom is a fantastic mod for Doom.
Oh yes, no doubt.
But my point is like it has its own things. Like you can get the weapon upgrades, and the weapon upgrades are a modern gaming feature, but they incorporate them quite well in the sense of they're not as useful as you might think. But then you keep getting the upgrades all over the place anyway, so it's just it's a nice progression, really. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where they go with Doom Eternal.
See, it lost me with all the different perks and shit in the multiplayer. That's where it
See,
ultimately lost
I
me. I'm
haven't
sitting there going
touched
like,
Doom's multiplayer because the multiplayer. A lot of people say the single player is where Doom's at. The multiplayer fell apart because they didn't. Like I said, the single player combines retro and modern shooters really well. The multiplayer is the exact opposite. It combines retro and modern shooters and smashes them together really awkwardly.
yeah, that's why I really want to see this new Quake game. I want to see more about that. Um, so, yeah.
I've
Anyway,
just noticed as
Um,
well, Lilith has to go. Bye bye, Lilith. It's a shame the stream's sucking and going out for you. Also, Wing.
Halo Infinite. Sorry, go ahead.
Also, Wing. Is a shame to hear that, but doesn't mean you can have to stop suiting. I mean, you might have to like adjust up like a bodysuit or whatever, but you can still suit, or even impartial. And yeah, suiting you will burn weight if you do it constantly. Jason in the chat can tell you I was sweating probably my own body weight off. I was in suit.
Don't we all?
Yeah, well, you just vibrate it off because you vibrate constantly.
but yeah, Halo Infinite. I mean, the reveal trailer shows next to nothing, so there's really isn't a whole lot to talk about. That was literally just a graphics demo of their new Slip Space engine.
I mean, here's the thing. It made the Xbox fanboys shit their pants.
It's Halo. It doesn't matter what they release. If it has the Halo brand on it, they were going to do that regardless.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I don't know what they're planning for Halo Infinite, but I feel like it's going to be almost completely multiplayer based, given the art that they have out. And if that's the case, that's an extremely smart move for them to do, because Halo is, and the first three games were known for the single player. The latter games, the campaign fucking sucked.
Mm.
And honestly, what I want to see out of it, is that they finally make a Halo again for the PC, because there's Halo Online, which is originally supposed to be ported directly only to Russia on the PC because like some weird Microsoft BS. And I have it downloaded. It has a really big community that still uses it, and I think it's a lot of fun.
The last, last Halo game I played, even a lot of, is literally all the way back at Halo Reach. I tried playing 4. I just keep like getting partway through and then just getting like bored of it, and it's like, eh.
Yeah, I think Reach was the last good one.
Reach was my last one. I enjoyed the games, but I never got into them as much as a lot of people apparently did.
The only reason I have any real interest in Halo is literally Red vs Blue.
That helps.
I was late to the Halo party. I came to Halo when Halo 2 was in its heyday, but I never played the multiplayer because that was back when Australian internet was literally on par with most third world countries and you could not play online games. I tried playing some Halo 3 multiplayer and that soured me greatly towards multiplayer games. I always played Halo for the single player. Loved the original 3. Halo 3 ODST was a bit of a weird one for me. It was interesting, but it wasn't that well done. Halo 4, I actually kind of enjoyed the single player. I seem to be one of the rare ones that did. And Halo 5, I never bought it because I don't have an Xbox One. I played it with a friend, and I honestly do not remember any of the single player campaign when we played through it because it just did not interest me.
It's an unfortunate thing to happen, but Halo, I think, definitely would work. I don't know, because if there is a storyline,
it's always been a good multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's a multiplayer game.
It will inevitably become a battle royale at this rate.
Oh god!
Which is sad.
What if what if that is what it becomes? What if that is what Infinite is, or whatever it's called?
Infinite is going to be one of either two things. It's going to be either a battle royale, or it's going to be like Fallout 76, a softcore multiplayer GTA style game.
See,
I
that would
don't
work.
think it's going to be either of those. I think it's going to focus specifically on competitive multiplayer, and that's where I would go in.
See, I'm just
And
thinking the exact
that's
same
not
thing.
worth the price of a full game.
I'm thinking the exact same thing for
Well-
both Doom Eternal and Halo Infinite.
Well,
What will
hold
sequels
on
be
a second.
called?
Hold on a second. We haven't even gotten prices for it. If it is just going to be a competitive multiplayer game, and it's going to be significantly cheaper, it would work.
It's Microsoft. They won't do that. They're as bad as E3 in that regard. As EA.
But
in
it's
that
bad
regard.
as E3.
He's not the
Well,
worst
it
of
is.
them.
I mean, it is as bad as E3, so.
But yeah, Microsoft is as bad as E3 when it comes to overpricing games and just putting
You
some
just said
terrible
bad as
gimmicks and
E3
shit.
again.
I'm certain I said EA that time.
You said E3.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said
whatever.
He's still waking up, bless him.
We're getting from Jason that Halo Infinite will be following on from 5. It'll be softcore multiplayer with elements of Guardians, and that's it.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, very interesting if
that-
that's the case.
If it lacks a single player, that basically kills it for me.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how what the multiplayer does. I mean, is it just going to be full like what they've done in the past? Is it going to be battle royale? Is it going to be something like Fallout 76 is looking at? Is it going to be a mix of all the things? I don't know.
Either way, I've kind of switched off Halo again because I don't have an Xbox anymore. So I've really dropped Halo from my thing because it's always been Xbox exclusive. I think they're saying Halo Infinite will be coming to Windows 10 as well,
Yeah.
which runs my suspicion that it's going to be very heavily multiplayer focused, and that immediately just switches me straight off it.
I
Again,
think that's just the way the Halo series is going.
It's strong
Which,
point.
It's the way video gaming in general is going. Single player is being dropped because it's not nearly as profitable as microtransaction fueled multiplayer.
It's a trend I
And for me,
hope
that's
will
really, really
change.
sad. People like AAA gaming do not make good single players anymore because there's not as much money in it.
Well, this was
There are definitely good single players out there,
Oh yeah,
but it's not as common these days.
No,
this thing it does depend how well it does multiplayer. I said I think Halo has definitely gone that way of the line. I think we all agree like Reach was the last good single player we had. It was a good like pre-story based like where Cortana came from.
I loved Reach's concept of being able to create your own
Character.
single player protagonist that actually turned up in the cutscenes.
Oh, create a character stuff gets me every time. I'm a sucker for
It's
it.
not done nearly enough. Halo Reach is the only game I've played that's done it, and I've wanted to see it more.
It makes so much sense from the multiplayer aspect of it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then there are people that have very specific stories that they want to tell, and it's like, I can't really blame for that.
Oh no.
No, but at the same time, Halo because because the protagonist Master Chief is such an empty character that you're supposed to inject yourself into. It's like made for that sort of thing. But the Master Chief, over the course of the games, has become his own character, and so you can't really do that with Halo anymore, particularly with the main series.
So I'm just gonna go stand here. I just gotta go see my mother. 2 seconds.
Intermission time. Let's see here. What else? There is a Devolver Digital conference. I didn't actually see it. I want to though.
I missed most of
That
E3.
sounds
Most of what I
fun.
picked up has been after the fact.
Right. And that's pretty much been the same for me as well. It's just like, ugh. Work is
Hell,
getting
I've had
freaking
friends who have
conferences.
booked time off to watch E3, and I've had to cover their shifts.
Yeah, Trude, I don't think you know what I mean by that. I'm not entirely sure if I want to get Fallout 76. It depends on if everybody it depends on if everybody else gets it. If everybody else I know gets it, then I would want to join in with them and that kind of stuff. If it does turn into the next Grand Theft Auto 5, I really want to talk about what I'm psyched for, but let me just put it this way. The next games I'm going to be getting are most likely going to be for Nintendo Switch.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Right. That was a long topic.
So what else?
No, it was funny because Doom sort of
One second.
segued into Halo, and it just sort of kept bouncing back and forth because they're two classic and very popular shooters.
Hey, that's no problem.
It's good. We want segues.
Segues
Now,
everywhere.
hard cut. What else?
Hardcore. Let's tone it down from the hardcore stuff. I want to know more about it. Probably need to look into it. But I saw the announcement go up again. Last one for the Switch for me is Super Mario Party game. It's the one thing I was really bloody wanting. I mean, Toby, you know fine well I watch Achievement Hunter, and those guys
Right.
playing Mario Party is just one of the funniest things. So it's like,
Mario Party's a classic.
so if I can get a
remember Mario
Switch,
I fondly remember Mario Party on the N64,
Yeah.
4 players. Oh, beautiful.
this is the best thing as well. Technically, if it works out, you only need one Switch to play it. One Switch, 4
Oh, yeah.
controllers, because you can link up many controllers. Hey, look, you've got a Mario Party straight away, without question.
I'd say we could play that in the queues at cons as well, but I don't know if even those queues are long enough.
No, well, it depends if you have like a 10-round game.
I've had games of Mario that went on all night.
Yeah.
Yeah, happens.
I've never played Mario Party much simply because I just don't know enough people, particularly in the pre-online eras. But
Thank God it's online. You can have
Hmm.
friends now.
Borf.
Okay, we all love you.
So, what's the next? Whose turn is it
It's
next?
it's your turn. Whoever wants to chip in.
Okay, good. The next game that I'm looking into, and honestly, I'm only looking into it for one reason at first, and then I saw more reasons. Starlink Battle for Atlas. Like, I don't know what the fuck this game is all about. It's made by Ubisoft. It's got ships, it's got flying, it's got blowing shit up, and it has motherfucking Star Fox in it.
Oh,
That caught me off
The
guard.
Switch version has Star Fox, yes.
I mean, honestly, they've got me hooked with it. I want to play that game now because I've seen some gameplay of it. It actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
One
It's
second.
just, I'm sitting here hoping to get what?
Leon with the host. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Jalen as well. Oh god, I've got double hosted.
Anyway, but as I was saying, when it comes to this particular game, I really like space shooters. I've liked space shooters ever since I was a kid.
Oh really?
Star
Hadn't
Fox
noticed.
You motherfucker. Anyway, and just looking at the gameplay for it, it's like a very free, open space, well, shooter. So the cool thing about it, and this is ridiculous, and it's gonna make me seem like such a fucking child for it, is that when it comes to the actual game itself, it's a bit like Skylanders, because it's got a collection of different pilots that you can use, and then you like tap them to like an NFC thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you select the different ships and that kind of stuff, and you can combine weapons onto those ships. So you have a combination of different things that you can use, and you can like, I think you can hot swap them. I'm not entirely sure. The only thing that I hope to God they don't do is that they require it be strapped to the controller the entire time, and if that does happen, I'm not gonna play it.
Fair enough.
So, but it looks very interesting. It looks like it could potentially be better than Star Fox Zero, which that was a disappointing game.
Also, Drayden with the host as well. Thank you very much, dude.
The combat reminded me a lot of a game called Strike Suit Zero. Or basically, it is just a single player game, and it's jeez, I'm trying to like give it a definition. It is not a flight sim. It is an arcade flight thingamajig, but it's not an on-rail shooter. If
What the hell was that noise?
I want to say open world, but I'm not entirely sure if that's even the right term to give to it.
Google.
It's
No,
not a
fuck, I'm not
game I
wasting that much time.
really looked into much, but it sounds interesting.
What's a Strike Suit Zero?
Oh.
Strike Suit Zero is the one I was talking about, but Starlink is the one that I've gotten onto the topic, and the only reason why I want to play it is because Star Fox is going to be a playable character. Well, I'm sorry, Fox McCloud is going to be a playable character, and you can fly in the R-Wing.
Fair enough, because we know how much you love Star Fox.
Yes.
Yee.
My first persona was a Star Fox ripoff, and I want to kill myself.
But to be fair, Lion King ripoff, so I can't talk.
Gotta make you start somewhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Right, next one. Oh boy, I hope they do not fuck this one up. Assassin's Creed Origins. Not Origins,
They're
fucking...
gonna fuck it up.
Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey.
You fucked it up.
Because I was thinking of Origin. Yeah,
They don't have to. Kivu has already fucked it up.
I fucked the name up. I meant Odyssey. Why did I put Origin? I'm
They're
playing
going to fuck it up. It's Assassin's Creed. It's not going to be good.
Shut the fuck
No,
up.
no,
Origins
no,
was
the
not
last-
bad.
The last game was good, which means this one probably will fuck up.
I don't.
That
oh,
tends to be the pattern. I'm interested to see it. I'm concerned that they're releasing it so soon after Origins.
yeah.
But from what I hear, it's been in development for 3 years.
This is what I'm hoping that it doesn't fuck up, especially when you consider it's set in ancient Greece, which I think is going to be before the time of Origins, because obviously Origins, the Greeks and Romans are all over Egypt, so this is probably before even that time. And
You
if
said
it's
it's gonna be. You said it's gonna be in ancient Greece.
hmm
We're gonna be able to fight Heracles.
I gotta stop and say, Fatality, not all Assassin's Creed are crap. At least 50% of them are decent.
at least, yeah, we just don't talk about Unity ever.
We do, but mockingly.
Very mockingly. That was a bad. Oh. But no,
That was fun.
it's
Black
like
Flag.
Black Flag was amazing. Shut the
Oh, I
fuck
fucking
up.
love Black Flag.
I'm not. I just said Black Flag. I didn't say it was bad or good.
We were talking about
Say
bad
Fatality.
games, and you said Black
Like,
Flag.
that a bad one.
Sorry, Fatality, you're wrong.
Yeah, gonna have to say you're wrong on that one. But no,
Sorry, but
what's
you're
gonna be
wrong.
interesting about it being ancient Greece? You've got to bear in mind, ancient Greece wasn't. It's a full nation. It was just a lot of big, massive city-states vying for power. So, what'd be interesting to see is if probably different notoriety trackers, if they've got something along those lines. So, like, if you do something in Sparta, it's not going to affect your opinion in, like, Athens or stuff like that. Or if you've got, like, quests to do, you've got to decide, which city-state are you supporting, and if you support, again, Athens over Sparta, Sparta's going to get pissed off with you. That'd be an interesting way to do that sort of thing. I hope they do put something like that in, but there's no guarantee, unfortunately. But it does look
Bloody
like
hell, Jason with the unpopular opinion.
3 was good.
Assassin's
Black Flag.
Creed 3 was good, Black Flag was meh.
3 had a lot of interesting
Oh, you
concepts.
are in the minority, my friend.
No, 3 did have a lot of interesting concept. Obviously, the big part that people loved the most was obviously the ship side of things, which was clearly testing the waters for Black Flag. I think one of the biggest issues with 3 is that it
Was
came.
Connor.
He was okay. He was a bland character, yes, but I think it was more the fact of like it came after Ezio. You don't top Ezio. It's not possible. It's like he
I
rules.
just want them to make a fucking Assassin's Creed game in Asia. I want
Yeah,
to play as a
One day.
fucking ninja.
I mean, look, no,
One
that's
day.
Japan.
Mother.
Japan is in Asia.
Guess where Japan
Yeah,
is,
I'm being more
kid?
specific, you dimwits.
Okay.
Because Asia, we're talking like fucking Russia all the way down to Japan. That's a lot of space.
Russia doesn't count.
No, Russia is not part
Like
of
if they had an Assassin's Creed in China as well, I think that would be an interesting thing to do. In Vietnam, in
Well,
Korea,
this is the thing.
especially
They've
during,
got
like,
a character
that
to
time.
work in China because Assassin's Creed Embers, the short like 30-minute movie showing the end of Ezio's life, he gets visited by a Chinese assassin who's heard about this great master, and she's pretty much begging him, look, I need to save my brotherhood. Please help me. He shows her how he does things. She goes back home, and if you play like later games and pick up little tidbits of stories, it tells you, yeah, she became the master assassin of China.
Bye,
I want to
Jason.
see that. I want to see that game.
Bye, Jason.
See ya.
But yeah, it's
Yeah.
like,
Like a Chinese or Japanese Assassin's Creed would be really interesting to see. I'd love it.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
if we're gonna,
I'll agree with that. I haven't played Assassin's Creed aside from a bit of the first one, but an Assassin's Creed set in China or Japan or something would be really cool to see.
yeah,
Sure, there is an Assassin's Creed in China, but not a main series.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would
main
like a
series
main
game.
series. But if we're going to Japan as well, I'll be honest, the era that will be absolutely perfect for it, the Sengoku Jidai era, as in where we hear Japan, ancient Japan, and you think samurai. That's the era. Like when they
The
were,
Sengoku Jidai.
well,
And I know nothing about Japanese history, so I'll just nod and agree.
it was literally the 400-year massive civil war, basically. Like that's the perfect time period, especially towards the end, like when eventually everything got fixed, so to speak. But yeah, those would be nice to see. But I am curious to see how Odyssey goes. I hope to God they don't fuck it up. We'll see. Also, bye, Drayden.
Fingers crossed.
See you later. Thank you very
Bye,
much for the host
Drayden.
again. Right, next. Anybody? Anybody?
If no one else has anything,
Go ahead.
no. If someone else has something,
No,
keep going,
Tom, you
because
spoke
mine
up
might come
first.
eventually.
I have a few. One that was mentioned in the chat for Switch.
Go on.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That
just
was what I
said
was
that.
going to move into.
Well, I wasn't listening.
That's very Toby. Yeah, that's not on my list
So-
because I've tried playing Smash and Brawl and all that sort of stuff. Not my kind of thing. They're fun to watch. So again, the floor's over to you guys.
I've been playing that since the original N64 days,
Jesus.
I
and it's
played,
always been great.
I played the original and Melee on and off. I never owned them, but friends did. So whenever I visited those friends, we'd always pull it out and have a couple of games. Brawl was the first one I played. I played that extensively.
Melee was my first one.
Yeah, like I said, I
And-
started back on N64. Melee was my favorite. Brawl kind of screwed the controls up a bit.
Brawl,
like
the only
Brawl.
thing that was wrong with it was the random slipping and falling over.
It never felt
Yeah.
as responsive as Melee did.
Well,
See, I never
don't know.
played
That's
Melee
kind
much,
of
so I never got that. What I did love in Brawl, even if it was a bit of a jumbled mess, I don't care because it was still fun as
Oh, it
hell.
was still
the
a good
single
game.
player.
It was definitely still a good game.
The single player was a really nice touch, and I'm kind of sad they dropped it for the 3DS Wii U version.
Guys,
I think
Jared's
they
trying to
originally
speak.
I think they originally had the single player for Super Smash Brothers Wii U, like an actual storyline, but I think they had to drop it for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but either way, just the fact that they're adding so many characters,
Yeah, every character that has come back.
65 characters.
What it is
We're talking-
every single classic
my
character
God.
from the original Melee, Brawl, whatever, are all coming back
Yeah.
and they're adding new ones.
Every
Okay,
character's come back.
Okay, I get it. We're all excited. We don't have to fucking talk over each other. Just say it.
Oh, we do.
Interrupted 3 times. A little pissed off here.
Yeah, Jero, speak.
We're talking characters that you would not expect to see again, especially with copyright stuff. Like fucking Solid Snake is coming back. That is awesome. They have Wolf coming back, which that I'm excited for. Obviously, I mean, how am I not? I'm a little miffed that they redesigned him again for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
but
they're using one of the more
whatever.
recent approaches.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, this outfit was never actually used in any of the Star Fox games at all. It does kind of harken back to like more classic. It does look like more of a classic look as opposed to the super fucking serious. I've got armor on my body shit from Star Fox Assault that every character went through. And then of course they're bringing in the current design for Star Fox from Star Fox Zero, which I kind of like. It's all right. I've But they're also bringing back other characters, like they're bringing back Cloud again from the original. Why the fuck is Daisy playable?
That's what I'm.
Isn't she an alternate skin? Isn't she an
No,
alternate
she's
skin?
not an altered skin. She's one of the characters that is based on another character. Like how
Like,
Luigi,
so
like how
she's an
Luigi was Mario and Pichu was Pikachu.
so she's an alternate skin, and they finally relegated Dark Pit to basically he's just an alternate now.
Yeah.
What it is
And they
ultimate-
realized their mistake of just adding him as a separate
Yeah,
character.
they're calling them Echo characters. They'll be
It's
separate.
glad
with
they're
the-
adding all these characters back in because, especially when it comes to Wolf in particular, everyone says that he's a Fox clone. He isn't. There are very different variables between him and Fox and Falco in particular. Oh, you mean they turned his side B 45 degrees? That's not the only thing, dumbass. Have you ever seen his basic attacks? But just in general, it looks very interesting. However, I do want him to change one thing about the ultimates that they have in Smash. Can we not with the fucking landmasters all over the place? Yes, I was gonna save that for last, Indigo. They finally put Ridley in Smash. Finally,
That will be very good.
it's happening.
And
There's a
let's say,
Metroid bad guy in Smash Brothers.
just gonna say,
Okay,
Joe,
no, somebody else can.
the Landmasters are gone. Which
It-
will be
from
so
what I
nice.
Did my internet die?
regarding the Landmasters, from what I've
Oh,
seen,
I know what happened.
what they've done with the final smashes is most if not all the final smashes that were controlled, like Pikachu's, Sonic's, all the Star Fox ones and such, they've all been revamped. They're no longer controlled ones. So final smashes are literally just massive, effectively board wiping attacks.
Look at the gameplay and there will
did
be
I
some
talk-
controls.
Okay, before now, did I talk over anybody?
Tiny bit, but
because-
not too bad.
My mic thing cut out again, so I couldn't hear anybody.
All right. Also, hi,
At
Brian.
this point, it's a free for all.
Let's try and keep at least some order, guys. Like,
Good luck.
I don't want it to be hell.
Yeah, trying.
We've got 4 people on a Discord call. How in the hell are we gonna do that?
It's called a mute button. I can do that.
We've done it before, trust me.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's not order. That's a dictatorship.
hell yeah, bitch.
I'm gonna rebel against this.
But yeah,
If
Well,
it's
I
your
can
space, it can be your dictatorship.
but yeah,
But this is
Smash
your
Ultimate.
space.
I get its popularity. I love the idea of the fact they are adding in all the old characters. That I can see why that really appeals to fans. And if they're changing like some of the moves around, like you said, also awesome.
And motherfucking Ridley.
All right, calm your tits.
I'm sorry, I really like Metroid 2.
Okay.
Ridley was a surprise. And that's
It's
very,
like,
gonna be very
oh,
cool to see.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he isn't too big. Giggity.
Giggity.
You have no idea how much porn that unleashed on the internet as soon as that, like, okay, so originally
Can we
it
not go
was,
into this
like,
sort of
an
subject, please?
excuse- Hold on a second. It was originally an excuse that Ridley was simply too big to make as a playable character for Smash, and everyone's like, what about Giga Bowser? And it's like, okay, but apparently they like sized him down a little bit, so now he isn't
Yeah,
too big
he's
to be a
same as
playable
everyone else.
character. But
Excuse me.
they actually put him into the game, and so you can imagine where it went from there.
Yeah, let's just not.
It's gonna be weird, but that's basically the game.
Right. Moving on, quite nicely. Game I wasn't sure about, because I've rarely played the previous ones. However, it looks like a shit ton of fun, so I'm probably going to pick it up and enjoy the living daylights out of it. Devil May Cry 5.
Yes. I played the games years back, and I need to go and replay them, but that looks like good fun.
It really, really does. Like, it's like, okay, this does look just an insane, like, beat 'em up, just kill everything sort of thing.
It's over the top killing demons. It's Doom with a sword.
Yeah, that's probably a good way to say it. It is Doom with a sword and a third-person view. And lots of insane cool abilities, sort of thing. But it's also the fact as well, it's like, the character design, I really like it. Especially, like, at the end of the trailer, where it shows freaking Dante on that motorbike. Give me that bike and
Old
that coat.
crazy Dante.
Oh yeah, old crazy Dante is like, give me that coat and give me that bike, because damn, that looks amazing. Also,
That was a really cool one to watch.
the like tech woman that's helping, was it Nero out? She's got sass, and sass is always just funny.
I agree, but her accent, how soon is that going to get annoying?
Depends how much she's in the
A
game.
really high-pitched Southern American accent.
Excuse me.
I said a really high-pitched.
Gerald's from the south.
That's what I thought.
He's not high-pitched.
You're still taking it as an insult.
He's welcome to. He's from the south, who cares?
Yeah, I'm from the South, where guns are still extremely legal.
Yeah, but I'm over here when they aren't.
Unless you go through a lot of rigorous training and licensing. But hey, yeah, it just does look like just another like big mash and beat 'em up. But hasn't that always been what Devil May Cry's been about? Like, hasn't that been
Devil
the
May
point?
Cry games have always been great fun.
Which is, it
I was like,
it
I'm
knows
happy
what.
to see Nero back.
Yeah, the Devil May
But
Sorry.
Dante.
Yeah, Dante. Fucking Dante. Yeah, the Devil May Cry games have always been about fun and unashamedly of it. They know that's the point of them. It's like, yeah, there's a story here, kind of. Maybe we came up with it last night.
Kiv, did you said something was like Mario Party, right?
No.
Mario Party's like Mario Party.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just wondering if you missed the announcement of Super Mario Party for the Switch.
That's what I meant. Super Mario Party.
Okay. I'm not sure because I remember we had a conversation about it at one point. It's like they need to have a Mario Party on Switch. I was like, oh, it was right.
Yeah, I
fucking
think that was
there.
like last week, or something like that. It was like
Yeah.
I was looking, because it's just a good console for it. Anyway, Devil May Cry. Can't wait. It's probably gonna be I will get the game at some point though. It's not gonna be something I'm gonna get straight away. It's gonna be at some point. It's not top of the list. Right, next, who wants to pitch in?
Anyone else got anything?
Battle Royale can fuck off and die.
I have two other potential games.
Alright, shoot with one of them.
First of all is one that I've been looking forward to since it was first teased back in 2008.
Oh boy,
That's
here.
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Again, I haven't played the game, but I hear a lot of good things.
Beyond Good and Evil was one of those cult classic games.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you were playing as a reporter who was going off and discovering an alien conspiracy, and it was great fun. This one has changed a bit now. In this one, for a start, you get to design your own character. And yes, you get to be a furry if you want.
Nice.
You are going to be the leader of a group of space pirates.
Yar
And this
har
is a
fiddly dee.
big open world galaxy, basically. You can go off, they've designed it where it's going to be no loading screen, it's going to be all continuous. So you can hop onto a ship from your ship, go in, beat them up, steal their shit, blow the thing up, run out of it while it's exploding, hop back over to your ship, and then watch it crash into a city.
You like the idea of just blowing everything up, don't you?
Oh, fuck yeah. Whereas everything I've seen of this game so far looks incredible. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a massive, detailed world, full history, big story. It's going to be very interesting seeing it move forward.
Fair enough. Again, not really heard anything or seen anything about it because I've had my interest drawn to it. But massive open world that doesn't really need loading or hopefully doesn't have lag issues. I mean, that piques my interest. Not gonna lie.
Could be interesting. And
Just
there's
give me
only
a review when you play it.
oh yeah, but there's only one other game I've seen that has really caught my attention, and it's one that makes me very, very concerned.
Yeah.
And that is the remake of Resident Evil 2.
I was just gonna bring that up a bit later on, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's like,
Also,
I loved Resident Evil 2,
just quickly,
but this
Brian,
isn't.
also you got me and Jero in here. The friend talking right now is Tobias from my local meets, and the other
Hello.
person who's pitching in every so often is Australian Chaos, my best friend from the other side of the world in Australia, who is awake or is he falling asleep?
No,
Yes.
I'm still here. Sort
Anyway, Resident Evil 2, I was going to bring
Yeah.
that up myself. Um, yeah, it was a really good game. Um, the,
I loved the original. I played it when I was a kid,
mhm.
but this isn't Resident Evil 2 because they've done away with the fixed camera angles. It is Resident Evil 4 style over the shoulder.
Because that's what works nowadays is the annoying thing. Now,
It is, but the problem is, I love Resident Evil 4, but
mm,
that was the beginning of the end for the series.
it
Because
was.
that was the first one where it was an action game, not a survival horror.
Okay, this is the thing. It can still work if they haven't really changed, like, enemy encounters, fights, and the big part which would probably make it still as tough and scary is the scarcity of, like, ammo and the inventory system.
That'll help, but the fixed camera was always a part of the survival horror.
I guess so, but again, unfortunately, it's just how
I just
Resi's
worry that
gone.
they're going to go too far in the other direction again. We've seen that happen with Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6.
Well, I mean, Resi 4 was a really good use of the over-the-shoulder camera.
It was. I
but at the
loved
same
it.
time, there were very tight angles and that kind of stuff, where that camera was actually very useful. Where instead of like having a jump scare or something jumping right in front of you, it's you turn a corner, oh shit, run the other way. It's your fault, that kind of deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like I don't want it to be jump scares. The idea of the horror in Resi 2 is you know something is there. You know something's lurking around that corner, or if you don't know, you turn the corner and you get surprised by it. Which I get the tight camera angles were really good for that, but the over the shoulder view they got, which is a bit, from what I've seen, it's a bit more of a wider view from 4. It can still work. And for example, we've only seen small clips of it. It might be certain parts are over the shoulder view, and then depending where you are, like in tight corridors, we might still get some fixed cameras. Like,
we might, but as I say, Resident Evil 4, I loved the game, but it never scared me.
this thing, I don't
Neither did the
think,
fifth one.
the camera angle is going to ruin Resi 2.
I don't think it'll ruin it, but at the same time, how can you really remake it by completely changing it?
That's the whole point of it being called a remake. My point is, if they, as long as they keep like the inventory system, the enemy encounters, and stuff like that, and obviously get the atmosphere right, because that's what really brings it, like, Resident Evil to a good game. Is not the jump scares, it's the tension building. Like, when you're walking down a corridor, you don't know if a licker's about to jump through that fucking window.
The tension was alright, but if I want tension, I'll go play Alien Isolation.
Why not both? That's what they were both good for.
Resident Evil 2, I'll be keeping an eye on it.
Mm.
They might do it well, but this is gonna be so easy to screw up.
Resident Evil 2 was also the first Resident Evil that had a transforming boss.
This is true. But there was only one previously to that, so.
There's an idea that got old quick.
Mm.
Yeah, but they started it, and it was like, it was grotesquely beautiful the way they did it with Dr. Birkin. It's just like it was normally this regular guy, and he injected himself with the was it the G virus?
It was the G virus he made.
The G virus. He injected himself with the G virus, and just started turning into this absolute monster.
Yes, every time you saw him, it's like
deforming.
you would run into him once, and he would just be a bulky guy with an eye in his shoulder. Or next time, he's practically a dog with extra teeth. And by the end of the game, he's a
And
blob.
Well, no, he never got to that phase. It's just like, it was, okay, he's got a massive arm. Okay, he's got an even bigger arm. Okay, his face is being sucked into his torso, and now there's that extra eye. And
No,
he just like collapses on the floor and just explodes into this mass of flesh and teeth.
no, I think he did sort of turn into a blob at the very, very
Yeah, he
end
did.
on the train out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just saying, I don't remember the dog part. That's what I'm saying.
Of course you are. You're a fucking speciesist.
I said I don't remember the dog
I
part.
thought you did. My apologies.
No.
I'm sure it was Birkin. There was a point where he was 4 legs and he had basically a row of giant teeth around his head.
Yeah, I think you did. We can easily look it up. Right. Next topic. Not going to spend too much time on this one because I've not looked into it a lot. But I am looking forward to it. Soul Calibur 6. Like,
That's a series that lost me a while ago.
I picked up 5 because, yes, it had Ezio as a special character. Really enjoyed the game.
You say you don't like fighting games.
This is the only one I've gotten into at all. And I never said I didn't like fighting games, I just didn't get into Smash. Difference.
I never got into the kind. I liked Smash because it was something you could pick up and just play. Games like Soul Calibur, I've never been good at games where you have to sit there and learn this massive button combination to do even a basic attack.
This is the thing though, because if you play like the campaign, you don't have to learn that, and the people I ever played against were also button mashers. So it was literally who mashed the buttons best.
That's what I did, but
But
especially when you're playing against a computer and it knew the combinations.
yeah, if you put it on like expert mode, it does that.
It's like, no, it's like I couldn't play those. I couldn't play Mortal Kombat. I tried Injustice and I couldn't get past the tutorial.
Fair enough. What was the other thing? The special character is Geralt from Witcher as well. Because every Soul Calibur they've had a guest character in it. I know they've had Yoda, they've had Ezio. This one is Geralt.
It's like not exactly timely, but damn, it will sell.
To be fair, Witcher 3 is still big and popular, so
It's big and popular, but it was a while ago. But the character is so popular, yeah, it's kind of sell just on that.
I mean, again, part of the reason I
It
bought
could be the
5 was
biggest-
because of Ezio. I'm not gonna lie.
It could be the biggest piece of shit ever, but it's got Geralt in it, so people will buy it.
Pretty much. Right, I've only got 3 left on my list. Has anybody got anything else?
No, I'm
I don't think I do.
pretty much out.
Tom, anything from you?
No, we've already discussed the only ones I really have even the slightest interest in.
Alright, fine, the next one for me. This is a bit of a ballpark outsider kind of one. Mutant Year Zero, Path to Eden. So, Mutant has been a like tabletop roleplay style thing where it's a post-apocalypse, the radiation's all gone, and everybody who's alive has a mutation of some description. And nobody lives that long because of the radiation poisoning. And the idea is you build up your city, make sure everybody's got food supply, medical supply, culture, all that sort of stuff, basically. Mutant Year Zero game is coming out as, and this will be interesting to you, Jero, as a XCOM style game. So it is basically
Excuse me?
you heard me, XCOM style game. So you control a team of mutants, probably with their own special powers and unique abilities, on the battlefield, scavenging the apocalypse wasteland to try and probably build up your town to survive the apocalypse, basically. And I hear a tumbleweed going past.
It is a game I have no idea about.
Same.
Well, this is why I'm bringing it up. It's a bit...
I know this kind of game has been popular, but it never got to me.
This is why I mentioned it to Jero, because I know
We'll
how
see.
much he loves like the XCOM games, and it is, from what I've heard, it's going to be in the style of XCOM.
I'll look into it, but I'm not sure.
Literally, just YouTube Mutant Year Zero, and you'll see the trailer for it. But it is literally just drop my dice, why don't I? It is literally, like I said, a bunch of mutants, probably with their own unique powers and abilities, scavenging the wasteland to survive, which I think is an amazing concept and would work really well with the XCOM style of turn-based play. And like I said, it came from a tabletop roleplay game as well. So even more yay to that. And while we're on the subject of mutants
Oh,
and
Bye,
mutation,
Brian.
bye Brian, take care, thanks for showing up. Right on the subject of mutations and stuff, Last of Us Part 2.
Again, one of those PS4 exclusives. Never played the first one.
I know, but god damn it, the first
I
one was...
played a bit of the first one. I was one of those rare people who couldn't get into it.
I loved the first one, like, a lot. Like, a lot. Characters are
I
brilliant.
think for me, it was one of those ones of I could see why everyone was loving it, but I'm sort of sitting there being just like, I'm not getting into the gameplay. This probably would have been better as a movie.
Oh, if they made a movie of it, I'd be all over it. But I really did love the gameplay. I thought the characters were good. The storyline was brilliant. And when you're playing the game, you're sort of going between like combat with humans, which does allow you to, you can like run in just guns blazing and still win no problem. And then all of a sudden something will happen and you're now fighting off the I can't remember the bloody name of the like zombies. Basically they're literally plant zombies, like an airborne virus has just gone around and infected people. Yeah, you go stealth or you die. There's no ifs or buts about it. So you've got to use like the environment, the like broken cans, bottles, molotovs, literally like anything to not get detected by these things, because the only way to fend them off is literally with shivs that you make, but they only last a certain number of times, and you cannot just keep doing it. So you've got to be stealth with it, and how it just switches between the two styles of gameplay, it still works really quite well. Like I said, the characters have done amazing, and it's picking up with in the first one. I'll quickly explain the story. The first one is you run across this, I think she's like 10-year-old girl who's got the infection, but she's immune to it, like so she doesn't turn. So you're trying to get this group of people called the Fireflies, who can hopefully research the cure from her. The problem is, by the time you do that, the main character Joel has pretty much almost like made an adoptive daughter of her, because he lost his daughter like 20 years ago, basically, when the outbreak first came out. So he ends up not obviously wanting her to die, so he literally pretty much takes down the Fireflies and rescues her, and tells her that it was a bad idea, even when technically it kind of wasn't. You know, like she might have had the cure. There was no guarantee of it. He just didn't want to see her die. So this is now picking up, I think, like 10 years later. And, you know, Ellie's all grown up. I think Joel has unfortunately passed away, but it's focused on Ellie now, which is interesting to see what's happened, and the fact the world is still in chaos after 30 years from the outbreak. We're really looking forward to see how they go with it. But the gameplay, obviously, it looks like they haven't messed with it too much. Obviously, they've refined it and looked at new ways of adapting it to make it a bit more interesting here and there. But it doesn't look like they've fucked with the core mechanics much, which is a very big yes, because it just worked brilliantly. And I don't think it is on any other console. I think it is an exclusive, which is really fucking annoying. So find a friend that has a PS4 and play it.
At this point, if I was going to buy a console, it would be a PS4. There's been so many good exclusives for it.
Well, look at the ones we talked about this evening. Crash Bandicoot, the Last of Us, Kingdom Hearts games. The last one I'm going to talk about in a minute.
Hell, I still want to play Horizon Zero Dawn.
There's that as well. Horizon's come out for it. I would argue the Persona game series is well worth picking up. I'm sorry, it's like, I know there's Xbox One exclusives and all that, but overall for me, yeah, freaking PS4's got my votes with the special ones, like the exclusive. And I've just remembered one more game. I completely forgot to talk about, which we got a bit more information. Did we get a bit more information for it? I need to double check. 1 second.
But I'll quickly mention something that I don't really have much information on. I only found out about it today. It seems to have gone kind of under the radar as far as I can tell.
Go on.
But it leads into the whole idea of if I was going to get a console, it would be a PlayStation. Because PS and Xbox hasn't an interest in me. Apparently they introduced the new Xbox.
I just didn't even notice.
Yeah. It seems to have gone completely under the radar. Apparently they've been teasing the new Xbox system.
See, teasing, not full reveal.
Not for reveal yet. I think they're calling it Scorpio or something stupid like that.
Oh, fucking
Wasn't
edgelord.
that the code name they gave the Xbox One?
Probably. I don't know. Apparently they've just announced something new, and they've not really given much detail. It's probably going to be another couple of years till we see it.
Probably. But yeah,
But I've not seen it anywhere. I only found out about it earlier today.
Jesus. That is pretty bad. But yeah, two
How
more.
far has Microsoft fallen?
Very. But yeah, two things that I want to mention now because I completely forgot about one. So number one on the list, Red Dead Redemption 2. How can we not talk about Red Dead Redemption 2? Like,
GTA with horses.
or as me and my other friends call it, Grand Theft Pony. Which it basically is. And the gameplay and trailers I've seen for it, it just looks like they've still got how the first Red Dead was, which is absolutely fantastic. But the idea of pulling off bank heists and train heists, oh boy. Yes, please, there's multiplayer content right there.
I enjoyed the first Red Dead, but I really hope they fix the one major issue I have with it.
Which is?
The world was completely empty.
Well, that was the whole point. It was meant to be the Wild West. It wasn't meant to be
See, I've
cities
been told
and...
that before. It's supposed to be like this big desert. But when you're going back and forth across this giant desert over and over again, it gets boring.
This is why fast travel exists.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to fast travel all the time.
True. Although,
Like,
Toby,
I mentioned that I play Skyrim a lot. I am very happy to walk from place to place in that game.
this is the thing though, I was just about to mention that people would argue Skyrim's the same, it's just the same wilderness over
Except
and over again.
you can keep going through and you keep finding new hidden things in it. There is loads of little details in a game like that. Red Dead didn't have much of that. There were some things you could discover, but most of it was empty desert.
Again,
I don't want every inch to be crammed with stuff. Just give me something to discover.
again,
Some little events.
I think it was kind of they're going more realistic with that sort of thing, which does make sense. But I do get your point as well. It's like little things here and there, like even just like collectibles would be nice.
So you can say it's fine to go realistic, but if we were going realistic, we'd get to that video game Penn and Teller did, where you're driving a bus through the desert.
What, Desert Bus for Hope?
Yeah. Do we really want that?
I mean,
Because that's realistic.
let's talk to Load and Ready Run. How much money do they make off playing that game for a week?
Yeah, it's realistic, but we don't want to play it.
Again,
We
Load and
we
Ready Run
need
play
to-
it for a week a year.
they made money for it. Do you think they wanted to play it too?
Yes.
Jalen says we need Featherhoof in here.
Why do you need Hoofy in here? Oh wait, ponies.
Even now, it just thinks we're all boring.
Oh, sorry, I said ponies.
I see the argument.
I'm saying, I'm not a freaking pony. Just
You're
because
not fooling anyone.
no, he isn't really. I had to say it in the spirit of him though, since he's not here, sadly.
He ain't fooling anyone either.
But yeah, as I said, Red Dead looks a ton of fun, and like I said, moving train heists and bank heists sounds like it would be amazing. I just hope they don't screw it up. And apparently, you can play as John Marston, I've heard. I don't know how that's gonna work.
There's really one important question for that game.
Hmm?
When it comes out, what is the equivalent of shark cards going to be?
Bullions.
It's going to be
Bottle
bad.
caps.
It's going to be bad.
Bullions, gold bars.
It's gonna be fucking bottle caps.
It's not Fallout.
It's-
Just.
It's Rockstar. It's going to be just, here, buy this shit, or else you don't get to play. Are we going to have to unlock, like, the fastest horse? This one can go much faster than any of the others. If you want to win any of the horse races, you better get this horse.
Shadowfax.
No. It's like
It costs
it's like
2
you got a
million.
hold on a second. It's like you got a whole horse breeding thing going on, and you like gotta buy new ones in order to like make them go faster, so you're not inbreeding and that kind of shit. And in order to make the breeding go faster, you fucking pay actual money with it, and you can't do anything else because it's like you're fucking breaking the game with magic and shit.
Okay,
Fuck Rockstar.
Jero, breathe. It's okay.
No,
We're all friends here. It's fine.
I mean, somebody on Twitter is being a fucking cuckface, and I'm just trying to say this.
Well, don't bring your drama shit
it's
here.
Twitter.
I'm not bringing the drama here. I'm just saying that's affecting.
Alright, it's chill. It's fine. Just listen to the sound of our voices. It's not that
That's
bad.
why I don't go on Twitter. It's full of assholes.
Now, there's this lovely thing called a mute and block button. It's very effective.
I just read YouTube comments. It's so much friendlier.
Is it?
Fuck no.
Oh my god, I've just... Okay, sorry, I've just scrolled down to it and I've just seen the perfect thing. It suits you free perfectly, so I'm just gonna post this in the Twitch chat. Yeah, have fun with that one.
You piece of shit.
Am I wrong?
Oh, I didn't say that.
Jero, Tom, am I wrong in the link I've just posted in the Twitch chat?
Oh yeah. Pretty much.
We didn't go on about Smash Bros. That long.
But you're all three of you are really looking forward to that.
Besides, I think Bethesda eclipsed everyone.
The big thing with Super Smash Ultimate is it got the biggest. We got the most info out of it out of everything in E3, I think.
Mm.
That's because they
Like,
gave
out of-
everything.
Out of everything revealed in E3, that's the one we know the most about, and therefore that's the one we can get hyped for.
I'm pretty sure they just listed all the things they put in the game and go, yeah, just check them off one by one.
Because almost everything else, particularly like everything we've discussed, is more announcements and initial sort of things.
There was a lot of teaser trailers and somewhere we got a little bit of
announcement
information.
trailers.
Yeah, announcements, teasers, little bits of information. And then Smash Bros.
Yes.
just said, yeah, we're telling you every single bit about the game. We might as well. It's not got a story, so who cares?
There
It might
is
have a story.
one last game I want to discuss. We have had a good bunch of information for it before, but this came with a lot of, well, not a lot of, but a fair amount of content reveal, which is just making me hyped for it so much more. It is the one game out of everything released I am most look forward to, and that, of course, is the Spyro Remastered Trilogy. I
Oh yeah.
can
Of course you would.
not wait for this. The gameplay footage they showed off, a couple of homeworlds, they showed off full level playthroughs of the first boss and my most hated level, Treetops. But holy shit, the game is beautiful as hell. It's like, I was just like, jaw hit floor, beautiful me want to have now, please, like, just all over constantly.
Again, it's one of those ones I didn't really play, but it looks gorgeous, and it's back to that old-fashioned, actual platformer game,
Yeah,
where it's all bright colours and everything. I loved games like that and Banjo-Kazooie.
no
I was
PC
thrilled-
version yet, Jalen, sorry, just wanted to point that out.
I was thrilled when Ukulele came out because it was back that, and I'm waiting for it to come out on PC. It will.
Well, this is the thing.
If Crash is coming out, give it another year.
Crash didn't get touched in its core gameplay in the slightest. They literally prettied up the design, and that's all they've done with Spyro. The one thing that's just got me curious, that someone pointed out, is the first homeworld behind Spyro is like a castle, with a gem above the door. Now, in the original game, there wasn't anything there. So whether this is just updated aesthetics or there's something there, I'm not sure. But it definitely looks more than just like it's a door to the castle.
I think it'd be great if. Yeah, I want them to keep a game like that as close to the original as possible.
Hmm.
But if you want to throw some new shit in there, go for it.
Yeah. Well, this is the
See
thing.
some new little secrets.
That's the thing. I'm gonna ask you guys: have you all played the second Spyro?
No.
I played. I think I played a bit in the first one when I was a kid. That was it.
Right, who said no there? Who said no?
I said no, and I don't think anyone else responded.
Tom, I'm assuming you've played the second Spyro.
I've played the first two. I haven't been able to get through the third one.
Right, but the very start of the second one, the very first level you play, Glimmer. You know what Glimmer is like. It is a world that is full of big, shiny gems, and there is just colour everywhere. Now imagine that in this remake.
Oh boy, because this is the one game I've been hearing about where I am genuinely disappointed that I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. because
Just
that's what comes
PlayStation,
out
it's not even
initially.
coming out on Xbox. It's
No, it's both.
on release or delayed on Xbox.
Its initial release is PS4 and Xbox One. Delayed release for the Switch and PC.
Ooh, Switch. I didn't hear it was coming out on the Switch. How did I miss that?
The Switch and PC release will be like crunch like a year after.
Alright, that's fine.
Yeah, that's
I'll
what I
pick,
expected.
I'll pick it up on the Switch later then. I will just have it everywhere.
Because what I'm gonna do is because I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation, and I do not have the money for either.
Yeah.
But I do have a friend that has the PlayStation and is very much going to get this pretty much the day it comes out. So I am going to be visiting probably that same day.
But I just can't wait. I just can't wait. And the one thing I'm really impressed with as well is the voice actor they got for Spyro. They've got it very close to the original. It's not exact.
No. Kiv,
Hmm?
the voice actor is
Yeah.
the voice of Spyro from the original 2 and 3.
Oh, from no. I'm not even the original. I mean the one
voice
from
from-
1. But obviously, I didn't realize it was the same one from 2 and 3. But it's not the same as the 1. But obviously, you can tell that aged a little bit. Like it's clear, but
But it is the same voice actor who voiced in Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon.
that's even more awesome. Then again, stuff
It's
I
good
didn't even
to
look
get into
into.
keeping one of the original voice actors and just updating the audio.
This is the thing. I'll be honest. I wouldn't have minded if it was Elijah Wood, because he did a good job in what was it, Dawn of the Dragon.
Yeah.
But no, the fact
I
they brought back one of the
I do like Dawn of the Dragon. It's one of those ones I wish they'd continued the Spyro in that vein and not gone with the whole Skylanders
Yeah.
bullshit that kind of killed him.
the one thing that I loved about Dawn of the Dragon as well, it was a two-player game, and even though it was screen tied, they give an explanation for it. Like why you couldn't fly off in massive different directions. They actually incorporate that into the story, which I think that works.
No, it was actually quite cleverly done. Like it wasn't a phenomenal game. Like it didn't really do anything that other sort of
Games did, but it was amazing fun.
games of its type.
And also unlimited flying. No other Spyro game's done unlimited flying. Unless you count power-ups, but no. I'm not counting that. It was just... I love it. Freaking love it. And on top of that, of the remakes as well, is the fact that the dragons you release, they're all now completely, like, customized to fit the worlds they're in. Like
Ah, nice.
the dragon like if you watch the Toasty like level playthrough, the dragon released there because they're in the artisan's homeworld is literally a dragon holding a paint palette and a paintbrush. It's just like, okay, that's working well. And then the dragon you see in treetops, he looks kind of like magical, mystical based. Like he's got like a staff and stuff like that. It's like they've put a lot of thought into this, and I've seen some of the design for the different like Norks and everything like that. It's like they've really put effort into this. Like they sat down and just like, okay, yeah, this is the way things are going now, and I absolutely adore it. The one gripe I have with it so far, which I've heard an interview for, is the guy that originally came up with the concept drawings of Spyro. I can't remember his name, but an interview with him, he said apparently the studios didn't even let him know they were remaking Spyro, and he doesn't know why, because he would have said without a heartbeat, right, what do you want me to do? I want to help out. So when they first like needed somebody's like, we need this dragon design, he designed the OG Spyro. Like I don't. Thank you, Jalen. Charles Zambilas. So he didn't have like a massive input in like the full project, but he came up with the original character design that then the like producers, designers, editors could build off, and they didn't even say, "Can you do it again for us?" or anything like that. They just left him in the dark completely. Which
See, it's unfortunate, but I'm sure in cases like that, there's probably a reason. They probably had their own guy that they just knew would work well.
that's absolutely fine. But even just telling him, "Hey,
It is a shame.
we're remastering it," like, because I'm
Well,
sorry.
it's a shame, but if they're not going to make him part of it, why would they tell him?
I don't know, like respect or something. I don't know the proper word for it, but I just think it was just a little bit of a dick move. Like personally, it's like
It would have been good to have him on board, but
Spyro
Yeah.
wouldn't be the Spyro we know and love without him. Like, cause
Who? Excuse me. I'm kind of jumping back into this conversation.
yeah, where the fuck you been the last 10 minutes?
probably on his Twitter wall.
Being a keyboard warrior, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, for fuck's sake! You couldn't wait till after stream.
Well, it's fine. It's not like I'm going to lose karma for this shit.
It's okay, you've got extra co-hosts today.
Even
Well.
so. But no, we're just talking about
don't know,
how the original like designer of like Spyro, when they're like, we need this design, and he made Spyro, which then the company could like make the game with. They didn't even tell that designer that they were remaking it, let alone ask him to join the team.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of that is kind of garbage. Like, it's nice that they're making a new game, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. Maybe well, okay. If they had consulted him beforehand, that would have been all right. That would have been like the smart thing to do. But this is Activision we're talking. Like Activision owns the rights to the Spyro character.
Oh yeah, I know.
Um,
That's why unfortunately he can't do anything like about it. But I was just saying, I would like sort of like respect or something. At least tell him you're remaking it. But they didn't.
Again, it's one of these things, it's business. It's like they'll have had their own in-house artists that they'll have gone to, and they won't have needed to go to an outside
Yeah.
source.
I'll
So
also
as far as they're concerned, why talk to them?
I'll also like point this out as well, because what I'm guessing is a big part of why I didn't get contacted as well. I'm pretty much gonna guarantee that a lot of the staff have changed, including like the original producers and stuff like that, and
Oh, definitely.
no no one remembered or made note of the guy. That's will probably be the problem, and they just thought we'll fly with it and just didn't bother to check. Because it will be on the
Looking
internet.
at it, he's still apparently a pretty big deal.
He is now, but
Like,
then
CEO and founder and instructor at the Animation Academy in California. So
yeah,
Still a big thing.
yeah, he's a big thing now. I
Well,
don't know how he was back then though. And like I said, if they went along with the project, like you said, it's business. They might not. It just might have unfortunately entered into their heads, and they might have just forgotten who it was that came up with the idea.
I mean, here's the thing. He probably just made the base game and then just sort of dropped it for somebody else to continue on. That's completely possible.
No, he literally just came up with the character concept idea, like the design.
Oh.
Yeah, he was an artist and animator and character
Yeah,
designer.
he was like outside of the production company from what I heard. They came up with like the color and the main design. They like a rough idea of what they wanted. Went to him and said, "Look, can you design this?" And that's how we got the Sparrow we know and love.
But again, it's a business. This guy was involved in the creation of it, but they've already got the design.
Yeah,
They've got their own in-house artists.
again,
They wouldn't reveal details to someone who doesn't need to know them.
I understand that, but my point is, even just saying to him, "We're doing this," I think would have been a nice touch.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's probably business. They probably just like forgot overall or something like that. It happens. It's upsetting, but there's not much you can do about it, sadly. But that is my one gripe with the remake. Oddly enough, I don't have any for the Crash Bandicoot other than it is fucking difficult.
Oh, retro games, especially retro platformers, were though.
Oh no, Crash is
I don't know if
difficult.
they were more difficult or if we had just gotten worse at games
No, no,
as
no.
we got older.
There's a reason Crash is more difficult now. There's an actual like reason for it. So original like Crash games, obviously they don't have the technology they do now. When you were like jumping from ledges, there was a bit more coyote time. And when you're talking about so like I'm going to use the term hitboxes. I can't think of another word.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I heard. They changed the
yeah,
hitbox.
Crash's hitbox was more square, as was the platforms he was landing on. So not only did you have coyote time for jumping up, you had some coyote time coming down. On the remake, the boxes are smaller and more spherical. So instead of getting the coyote time coming down, you're more than likely to bounce off.
It's like he used to be able to hang onto a ledge by his toenail, and now he can't.
Yeah, which makes the level Slippery Climb the worst level in existence. A level with only one checkpoint. Fuck that level.
I don't know, the worst levels in existence to me will always be any level from Turok 2. Giant, maze-like levels with some save point hidden in there somewhere.
Somewhere lost deep in the void of time and space.
I played those games for countless hours as a kid. I think I found a save point once.
Was it not like in the same place every time or something?
It was in the same place, but what? These levels were huge mazes. There were like 5 levels in the game, and each one was massive. And
Oh.
everything looked the same.
Did you not have to follow the rule of just follow the wall left? Because
Yeah, you'd go over in a circle. Literally.
Oh,
And then you'd find yourself halfway across the level with no idea how you got there and no way back.
oh dear.
And then something would kill you.
Well, life sucks.
Games were harder when I was a kid.
Anyway,
Hmm?
we've been going for over 2 hours now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I usually do a bit of overflow these days. Let Shia get set up and then I raid him.
Yeah, he's usually completely set up by about 10 minutes in.
Yeah, so I usually do a bit of overflow and stuff
We're
like that.
nerds, we can keep it going.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, don't it?
Say that again.
I don't know. Words are not flowing together. That's what's going on. Anyway, but
some-
crap. What is
What?
on my mind right now?
I don't know, stuff and things and stuff. Games,
I don't
more
know,
games,
just-
games.
In general, like, it's cool to talk about stuff that's announced at E3, but E3 in conference is kind of like, honestly, it's kind of waned on me, because it's like it's not really showing anything impressive anymore.
Hmm.
Because it should be the Electronic Entertainment Expo, not, oh, what new game are we gonna again? Oh, that's going to be about the next generation of electronic entertainment. Because back in the 90s when we had E3 conferences, they were showing off stuff like this is 3D technology and our take on it, and like compare it to everybody else's. We had big console announcements and that kind of stuff. And now it's just the annual, this is what we're going to release kind of deal.
I think now it's got to the point where these big technological advances are the norm. Like, we have 3D, we have VR, we have all of this stuff. It's like, where do you go from here? No one's got anything yet.
Yeah, it's just there's not much you can do, unfortunately.
It's like, until someone, figures out how to do pure, like, brain computer interface thing, there's not really going to be anything to announce.
And I think I have to get going.
Oh, why? What's up?
Be right back a second.
Okay, bye. What?
Okay. Alright then.
Probably got attacked by a drop bear.
I hope he's alright. That was very sudden. It's not like him.
He lives in a country where everyone's trying to kill him. He'll survive. But yeah, it's like we're now at the point where, announcements for the next few years are all we're gonna get.
Pretty much.
Yeah, guys, I gotta get going.
Okay, is everything okay?
Oh. Yeah, no, just sister needs a lift from work.
Of course she does.
No one enjoys of taxi duty.
He's being. Oh, you beat me to it, you little shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's something I'm well used to.
I'm the family's designated chauffeur for those who can't drive.
I know your pain.
At least I'm polite when
Anyway.
I ask.
Then
Anyway,
again, you're also not in Australia.
True.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
at least I made it through what I assume is pretty much all the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not like the cool down time.
Yeah, this is the wind down.
Alright, I'll see you all later.
Alright, no worries. Thank you for being
Laters.
able to show your dumb ass up.
Alright, see you guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Thanks for turning up. Bye bye. It was nice to have him back.
Oh yes. No, not the Onion today. No, this was a special E3 edition.
Yeah, especially
There's-
Free Edition, because it's been the hot topic of the week, and we have managed to literally talk about games for 2 hours, which is always a good thing.
Oh yeah, it's because a lot of them are being released. I just want to see what like new tech is going to be coming out. I want to see if there's going to be any sort of improvements to VR or something like that.
Mm.
But obviously, VR and the PlayStation 4 kind of fizzled out.
Like I say, at this point, VR is still a thing, but any advancement is small.
Well, it's because it's so damn expensive. Trying
It's
to make
expensive.
OLED
Until
trying
it
to
gets
make-
cheaper.
Trying to make OLED displays that small is very difficult.
Yeah.
It's like, until it gets cheaper, we're kind of at a plateau now, and every advancement is going to be small, and we're going to be scraping for it. It's not going to be big news.
I mean, the biggest thing they need to do is they need to make it wireless, they need to make it cheap, and they need to make it easier to be able to interact with stuff. Because right now, the easiest controller that we have are the HTC Vive. And it's interesting because, like, it does promise a lot of things, and it is a little bit more tactile than the. Wait, did I say HTC Vive? I meant the Oculus Rift. It is interesting because it is more tactile than the Vive, especially in the sense that it's actually formed in a way where you can like grab something and it's not this giant fucking wand
gonna
that
be
you
like
wave around. What?
I'm still in a bloody news site that got my interest in the YouTubers chat, and fucking video autoplay.
Oh.
Because, I know this isn't a normal bloody Furcast, but holy shit, this story.
What
So,
is it?
she faked a rejection letter from her ex-boyfriend's dream school. Now she has to pay him $265,000.
For what?
She sent this guy a rejection letter as if it was from a school he really wanted to go to, so he didn't end up going to it. From what I can tell.
And now she's paying that as restitution.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Why did she do it though? Was it like a prank?
ex-boyfriend.
Oh, an ex. Okay. Yeah,
Check
it's
the
even
link.
worse.
So-
Damn, he's making a lot of money off of that shit. He's not even gonna have to. He doesn't even have to go to his fucking dream school anymore.
Oh, he probably will now. He's got the money for it. But it's just like,
Good point.
I can get you can be spiteful with exes and stuff, but what possesses you to do shit like that? That's just really below the belt.
Look, working in retail, I can tell you, people suck.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People are terrible.
Still though, it's just like, that's insane. I literally can't like fathom it. It's like, what possesses you to even think about that?
Oh, despicable interference in his career.
Ah.
Jeez.
So it's pretty much compensation as
Yeah.
well and shit like
Yeah,
that.
for damages including loss of reputation, educational opportunity, and 2 years of potential income.
Oh, okay, it's that income bit that'll be the big one.
Oh yeah. And now it's like exploded, and it's funny.
How is she
Um,
gonna pay that? There's no way.
Oh, bloody hell.
What the fuck is that?
He wanted to finish it at
Yeah.
Colburn Conservatory of Music in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, he completed his studies at McGill, and yeah, it was interesting.
Jesus Christ, Kiva, why do you send me links to stuff that has autoplay videos at full volume?
This is what happened to me. It came over in the stream,
Oh, God.
so.
My ears.
And she went one step further, creating a fake email address for a SoCal professor
Wow.
with
Bitch,
tuition that's more than $50,000. Oh my god.
bitch needs a life.
People put a lot of effort into
Oh,
this.
I'm
crap.
sorry, $5,000 scholarship, but tuition's like 50,000. Anyway,
Yeah. But
this is. Oh my god.
I have just seen that Shire is now fully running.
See here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for turning up to this very special edition of the Furcast. Of course, thanks always to Jared for showing up, and thanks for Toby for joining us as well.
Thanks for having me on.
You're more than welcome. So, now we're going to raid a one Shire Cabot. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing this evening, but it looks like he's doing something with Moji, which should be interesting. But yeah, thanks for showing up. Hope you have enjoyed. The Furcast, of course, will be running next week as well, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm unsure because Arding is going to be here with me, so I don't know if we're doing anything. But other than that, thank you very much. See you guys next time. If you haven't already followed, click the link above. Bye.
Hey.